You know how bad your hair has to smell for your teacher to write a letter saying that you don't have to come to class until you get this fixed. She wrote a letter and said, give this to your coach. Because what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 7 of the So On Time podcast. I am your co-host, Deja.
And I'm your other co-host, Dre.
And we are so appreciative for you guys for tuning in to this episode. We hope it blesses you. How's your day going so far, Dre?
Day's good. My day is good. Had a really good day today. Can't really complain, and I'm looking forward to getting my teeth taken out.
When are you getting your teeth taken out?
Friday.
Why are you looking forward to getting your teeth taken out?
Because I get a week off of work.
What you going to do in a week?
I'm going to try to get used to the pain that I'm going to face on Friday. That's going to be the week. Hopefully by the time the week ends, I'm still not recovering, so it'll be okay. Because I don't want to deal with that going into work.
Can you tell the people what type of braces you had?
So, I don't know if you guys know. If y'all know off of Ed and Eddie, best cartoon out there, there's this character named Jimmy. Exactly that. Like that brace that he had for his mouth, those braces, that was me in middle
What about
school.
the people that have never seen Ed and Eddie? I didn't watch it cartoon like that. It was demonic. I'm just kidding.
So I'm going to go ahead and explain that
Wait.
Cartoon Network is demonic?
It was a joke, but let's be real. They had some scary stuff on there, bro. Like Courage, the Cowardly Dog, scary. The something Madison or some Billy, not Billy Madison, that's the movie, but
Billy and Mandy Grim Adventures?
Yes.
Was scary? First of all, you said Courage was scary.
Courage, I could not watch that at night, bro. I couldn't watch it during the day because I had to go to sleep at night, and that was on my mind. Like, there was no way. I was Nickelodeon and Disney all day. I started off Nickelodeon. I was loyal. As I matured, I went to Disney.
It was good. It was good. We're on different sides because cartoons are the best. Anyway,
demonic.
So Jimmy, the way mine was, it was like something I had to put on my head. It was like this blue thing, and I had to, once I put it on, I had to hook it in the front, and I had to take the ones around the back, hook it like that.
I'm sorry, y'all. And if y'all watching this on YouTube, y'all can
that's
see
how my
me
braces were.
just be this the mic holder just now. But you want to tell the people what you got us today?
Oh, so for the people that are watching that aren't in the area, there's this place called Crumble Cookies. Now, obviously, you can Google it. They're also on Instagram. And that's what I got today. Got a little 12-pack of their weekly special. And it was good.
Crumble Cookie is only a Michigan thing?
Mm-mm. It's not nationwide.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was everywhere, like Insomnia cookies or whatever. Ain't that?
No, Insomnia is nationwide.
Crumble is newer.
Yeah.
They slap hard.
Yeah, they're good.
They slap.
I ain't gonna lie. Insomnia.
I've never had Insomnia.
What did you do when did you do in college, bro? Oh, I forgot. Never mind. I'm sorry. We could take that out. I'm so sorry. I forgot. Y'all was on strictness.
Listen, we did not have the opportunity. No, let's talk about it. We didn't have. So Dre and I, we've mentioned being student athletes, and that actually is going to segue into today.
That's perfect.
That's absolutely perfect. What we're talking about today.
So on time.
So on time, y'all. But we were athletes, but our experience was completely different. And I don't know. I feel like because. Think about parents.
I'm so sorry, bro.
Just think about parents, though, right? So, like, you're super protective over your daughters, and then your sons, you just kind of let them figure it out and find their way. And so I say that because I play volleyball, Dre played basketball. Our coach was like our dad, right? So he was really on us. Not that his coach wasn't, but just speaking from, my perspective, our coach was on us.
In different ways.
Yeah, and we had to be really conscious of the things that we ate. So Dre's asking me like, well, what did you do in college? And, why didn't you go to Insomnia Cookies? Well, because I had a coach that cared. So no, I'm just kidding. Let me stop. I'm just kidding, y'all.
Oh,
but no, why we didn't go to Insomnia Cookies is because our coach, when we went out, we had to eat healthy. Like listen, I have to make a whole new trip to Philly.
Y'all had to eat healthy?
Okay, except the one thing. Hold on. So I'm gonna give context to that and what he's talking about in a second here. But for the most part, like we couldn't just like eat a ton of junk food. Like he was on us and he was considerate the stuff that we ate. Except when we went to Brooklyn. I'm gonna handle that one in a minute. But yeah, so I have to make a whole new trip. I've been telling my friends this. Like I want to go back to Philly because we went to Philly and we couldn't eat any Philly cheesesteaks just because, you know, we had a tournament and it wasn't healthy. Afterwards, we had to get back on the road to get back to school. But yes, we ate healthy.
It's probably good for all the teammates that you actually did not eat.
All right, chill out. Chill out. But
he was looking out.
He was looking out. And but the only time we would, y'all, every year we would go to Brooklyn probably at least about 2 to 3 times a year.
There was 2 teams down there. So
solid 2 to 3 times a year. And every time we went to juniors. And it was the best. Like, if you guys listen to this, if you ever go to Brooklyn, please go to juniors. They are known for their cheesecake. It's the best thing that you will ever have in your life. And yeah, he used to run a tab up at juniors. We would go to juniors like 3 times a day when we were in Brooklyn. We would go for breakfast, lunch, and dinner as a team because we always ate dinners together. Went. Oh, completely. I saw the tab.
Y'all used to be mad at us for all the clothes we was getting.
I saw the tab for just a weekend. Like, it was crazy.
Every day?
Well, there was this one deli we would go to. Okay. That was like the one time we would break it up a little bit. There was one deli that we always went to, or it was juniors. One time we went to like Applebee's or whatever that was close by.
In Brooklyn?
In Brooklyn, yeah. What's wrong with Applebee's in Brooklyn?
Main restaurants down there ain't really it.
Really, I figure, not the chains, not the chains. It's it's the mom and pops and stuff like that. But Dre, you want to talk about your experience and how your coach was to food?
We have freedom. So I believe that what Deja said is right, but also the way our coach ran us and our team ran us, that we was burning calories. We were using that. Like they say, naturally you're supposed to eat like 2,000 calories. Don't. The school we went to, nah, don't do that. Well. I don't know. He probably changed it, but we needed to get like at least 5. I was killing a good 10 when I was there, but that was needed. That was needed because you're just gonna be tired and out of energy. So yeah, we had free reign to eat whatever we want, and I did not take advantage of that just because I'm setting my ways. I know what I like, and I'm going for it. I'm never gonna get tired of it.
You want to tell them what you got every time? You ready? 1, 2, 3. Pizza.
So I'm a pizza connoisseur. And
pizza, y'all.
I would call myself, I am the stereotype. And what I mean by that is chicken. So since I'm a pizza connoisseur and I love chicken pizza, extra sauce. Depending on where I get it from, I'm about to get into it. But when she did tell me about juniors, this is why I'm speaking about the freedom. When she did tell me about juniors, I went by myself.
All right, y'all. So today's topic of the day is, if I knew then what I know now. So my question is, since we already started off talking about college and that segued into this, if you knowing what you know now, what would you have done differently in college? What would have been your mindset? So my
difference in college would have been that I would have stayed in college. I didn't really like what was going on during that time. So like I mentioned in a previous episode, when I was shown the door, I left with no hesitation. And the reason why I would have stayed is because there's a lot of things that go on with college, especially when you transfer, like with credits and everything like that. Got to keep up with all that. That's just a lot of work that's not needed. And I loved the college for what it was. The location of it, the people, the teachers, the gym, the food, everything worked out in my favor. It was homely. The sport was really the only problem. But even with that, I had fun. The team was fun. It was always lit. It was just I was immature and had a problem with the administration authority of the team, and but that could have been handled in a different way. So I definitely would have stayed and enjoyed what I've been enjoying.
Okay, you would have stayed.
That's number one. That's one thing I would have
You
changed.
have more?
Oh yeah, there's more, but you can go.
Okay, cool. So I would say if I knew then what I know now, I would have maximized pretty much every opportunity that I had at that school, and I would have been more intentional. So I went in not really thinking about like one day college is going to end. So I wasn't intentional about my days. I just hung out with my teammates, and I kind of like stayed. Even if I didn't hang out with my teammates, we had roommates that played other sports. So we had like soccer roommates or track roommates and stuff like that. But for the most part, I only hung out with other athletes. I didn't really branch out. So if I could go back, I probably would have been more involved in school outside of athletics, like as far as joining organizations. And then I would have been more intentional about forming closer relationships with my professors and just being intentional about staying in communication and staying connected with them even after we graduate. Because I know in society they tell you to network all the time, and I think networking is good, but I think to actually form a relationship with somebody and get to know them on a more intimate level is what is actually going to open up doors for you. So I would recommend, if you're in college, to just be intentional about getting in front of your professors and, you know, your deans and whoever else in administration or in authority, and really just get to know them, because you may find that you need those connections as you get older, even if it's not just to get a job, but just to pick their brains, you know what I'm saying? Because they've already gone through what you're eventually going to go through. And just know that what you're in is going to come to an end. Like I said, I didn't realize the athletics part is going to end. So athletics was my world. But once you graduate, like, athletics is over for a lot of people, unless that's your major and that's the sport or the career path you take. So I just would have been more intentional about relationships with people.
And that always goes about, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And you really don't know who came through the school before you did. So those your counselors and the teachers and the dean, they might actually know some people that could really help you out. I would have been involved with a lot of different people. I talked to everybody, but I really didn't like get to know them. People will come up to me just because, you know, I have this amazing superpower. You know, I'm above the height requirement for a lot of people. So people just come to me like, oh, you're tall. So like just get into a conversation like that. But I really would have, like, you know, took their number down and really try to get to know them, especially sometimes we had like other schools come visit, or even like the branch schools come visit too. I had a very beautiful schedule, just to get off topic a little bit. So I always had a day to myself. I would have used that day to get to know people more. I'm just gonna leave it at that more.
Yeah. I also would have, kind of piggybacking off of what you just said. So yeah, I just would have been more intentional about talking to people from different universities. So the school that we went to was very close. I guess you could kind of say was a college town to a certain extent, because think of how many universities were in Pittsburgh. Like, granted, we were outside of the city, but there were like
15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't far at all. It was, like you said, like 15, 20 minutes.
Smart.
So yeah, just to like talk to people from different schools and, you know, network with them. So I feel like I should have used that time more wisely.
You definitely should network with Duquesne.
For sure. Duquesne, what was the other
probably
two?
been funny interactions
Chatham,
too.
I think was one. Pitt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, going to those games. We ain't do none of that.
No. I didn't even think about it. Even just now, like, not even think about that. That was smart.
Also, maximize. So we're both from Michigan. Sorry, was you about to say something?
No, I was about to cut you off.
You go ahead.
Oh, so like, I feel like in our case, like being athletes, we wouldn't have thought about that. But like like people that play intramurals, they play other schools like that. So they probably do. So that would be another good way to get involved and everything like that. That was smart. We should.
I wish if we knew then what we know now. Like, maybe partying and clubbing and stuff like that isn't your thing, because that wasn't really mine. And then also because we were on scholarship, we had to be a little bit more mindful of like the stuff we did, and because your scholarship is at risk. But I would say, like, start to really find yourself and figure out what you like, because like I said, you may not be a partier, but maybe you want to go to like a spoken word type of thing on the weekends, or you want to, something chill or like more laid back.
Mhm.
So use that time to explore, especially because we went to school. We're both from Michigan, didn't know each other when we lived here, and then met at school out of state. So I wish I would have been more intentional about exploring the city. Like there's so much. We went back to Pittsburgh later this year, but there's so much about the city that we didn't see, like museums and art galleries and restaurants, and we never experienced it because we was just, on campus. Also, we didn't really have bread like that. But at the same time, like we could have found a way. We could have made a way.
I'm so glad that she spoke for herself just now. I really wish you did go ahead and experience Pittsburgh and go out and have, fun.
That was for me. That was for me, not him.
Restaurant. So we had a little bet that I'm so glad that I can get out in the open now.
Get it off your chest.
The reporters that actually reported on it probably would never see this, but if y'all ever do, it was a lie. We had a little bet. I was coming back from a basketball tournament that we had in Chattanooga in Tennessee. And when I got back, she wanted some cereal. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, bro, that's a breakfast item. The calf doesn't have any cereal. You can't go in there. And we going back and forth. Obviously, she would know what she can go get because she's been in school, and I haven't. But that little bantered side of me was kind of just like, I'm gonna see how far this could go because maybe she could actually get cereal, but I ain't about to back down. You feel me? So we wanted to get into a little bet, and the loser had to dye their hair. I lost severely. She could have went and got some cereal. There's a new installation cereal bar. You can just go up, get a bowl, pour the cereal out. So in that bet that I lost, I had to dye my hair blonde. And from that, I went on to dye my hair other colors. And
Snow cone.
Snow cone was brought to life. And it was during the NCAA tournament, which I did get to experience, which was lovely. I wish everybody could experience, but some people just aren't that lucky. But I was lucky enough to experience my freshman year. And in that, I was entered into a best hair contest in Pittsburgh. And the Steelers had a very, good guy who was sponsored by Head and Shoulders, Troy Polamalu. And I got to be in that. Got washed in the voting. But
wait, no, they compared you to like Dennis Rodman. They compared you to a few different people.
Oh, you're talking about the reporters?
Yeah,
ESPN. Oh, no, I was talking about the competition. But yeah, I wasn't getting into the snow cone story. But the snow cone story, we was playing North Florida, and we was playing in a play-in game at Dayton. And during the time, I think it's called Sports Nation. I believe that's who was talking about it. And they had compared my hairdo to a snow cone. And then one of the guys on there at the time, he was black and he was bald, and he put my hair on his head and then referenced the game. And that snow cone was brought to life. And he was just talking about like how I was Dennis Rodman because I had dyed my hair red right after I dyed it blonde. And the red wasn't doing so well. So I was trying to get it out, and that didn't work.
Wait.
So
let's tell them how stupid we were with the dye. So the purpose, the goal was, okay, we're going to dye your hair blonde. And I think we wanted to dye it back before your game.
No. So.
Or after a while, we would dye it back.
This is how the bet was.
Was it a week?
No. This is how the bet was. I bet her that if she lost, she had to dye her eyebrows Joker, green and purple for a week. She told me that if I lost, I had to dye my hair blonde. She did not give me a stimulation. So when I went to the store, I bought blonde and I bought black. So when I came back, they was like, why did you buy the black? I'm like, you didn't tell me how long. I'm like, we're going to dye this. You can get your pictures. No, I'm dyeing it right back black. Go ahead and tell y'all mess up.
Long story short, me and another teammate, we were responsible for dyeing his hair.
And a football player. So there's 3 people.
Oh, yeah.
There's 3 grown individuals doing this job.
Wait, no, at first no, because the football player. Oh, okay, never mind. Bet. So yeah,
the football player was the one that told y'all to grab this box.
I was thinking of somebody else. I was thinking of the track player that came and helped you.
Oh, no,
yeah.
No.
So anywho, we dyed his hair and we're putting the dye in, and we're like, and here, like I can't even describe this. So we're putting the dye, we're like massaging it into his head, and we're like this isn't lifting. Like the color isn't lifting. Like his hair is not getting any lighter.
Also, the
And
dye got on my forehead too.
oh yeah, the dye was like all over his skin. Like
what the color actually is.
Hold on. I got you, fam.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. We're like dyeing the hair or whatever, and I say, Dre, hand me the box, cause Dre, he was the one who took the dye out the box. It wasn't us. I said, Dre, let me see the box that we're using for this dye, cause I didn't mix it. No. I ain't mix it.
I didn't look at the box
I looked
either.
at the box. It's the black dye. So we literally got blonde dye and black dye. So he was gonna dye his hair blonde and he was gonna switch it back to black. This man opens the black box first.
That's not. I opened what was given to me. I did not look.
He opened the black box first.
I didn't look at it.
I'm not paying attention because I didn't mix. You know, you got to mix the cream and the dye and all this other stuff. You got to mix it up. I'm not paying attention. I'm just like, okay, once y'all got it together, give it to me, and then I'm gonna put it in his hair. So I'm just putting it in, and I'm like, yo, this blonde looks real dark. Like, what? This is the darkest blonde that they have. So then we figured it out, and it was like, oh my goodness. So then he runs to the bathroom. He rinses his hair out. Comes out and it's like, okay, now we got to dye your hair blonde. So then we finally dyed it blonde. Actually, we had another team member, one of the track team members came in and he helped us dye his hair. But yeah, so he went blonde. Then he went to the red dye. Then he had an important game where y'all got these like super dope vintage throwback jerseys. He bled red dye all over the brand new white jerseys. And this game was filmed. Who were y'all playing that day? This was a big game.
I don't know.
I don't even remember, but that's the story of Snow Cone. And
yeah. So basically, what happened was during the red dye, it was vintage game, and there was new jerseys. All the jerseys were new. I bled out, so that's when I was saying the red wasn't working. So I tried to take it out. I tried to use red dye remover. Long story short, I had to wear a bag over my head for the next couple of weeks.
His head smelled so
it was
bad for a week straight.
Nobody
talked to him.
It was worse than cow manure. Nobody talked to me.
Tell me about your roommate.
My roommate slept in a different room for a whole week.
His roommate left.
He didn't come back until I texted him and said it wasn't
We didn't let you
anymore.
into our suite for a week. One day he came over to our suite because he needed to borrow a charger, and like I put the charger outside the door and like cracked it and like waved at him and was like, "Hey." And
everybody was in their room.
Everybody was in the room. It was like, "Oh, Dre, come and bet. Let's go to the room and close the door."
Locked doors. I went in there,
it
opened
was
it,
so
and when
bad.
I closed the door, you could hear them open their doors to come back into their suite area.
Yep. It was terrible. Then tell them about what happened with your professor. What did your professor do because your hair smells so bad? Remember for one of your classes, they wrote you a letter saying like, don't come back into your hair.
Oh yeah. My teacher went ahead and gave me a note that I was to give to my advisor and give to my coach, letting them know that I'm not allowed to come to class until I figure my hair situation out.
It was so bad, y'all. Yeah. It was so bad. Also, did you have to sleep in the locker room for some time? Like your roommate didn't even want you in there.
Nah.
When they did huddles, like he had to stand away. Like he couldn't even come into the huddle. Like It was that bad. What?
It was terrible.
Remember then after like a week or so of going through this, one of his teammates told him what he needed to do.
One of my
to
teammates who
dye.
are actually well versed in hair color and dyeing their hair was like, I thought he told me, I thought you was gonna figure it out, but you haven't. You just need to take a pic to your head or something because it's on your scalp. That's what's making it bleed. And I'm like, bro, you made me.
His head
I was so upset.
It smelled so bad. Dre and I were super close. Like if you saw him, you saw me, vice versa. Nah, fam, not this week. Nobody
I was isolated. I was so isolated. It was bad. It was to the point of like in practice I couldn't stop moving because. Which is funny. You think like when somebody like run past you, you smell it. No, you only really smelled it when I just stopped. It was just like
so they just made you run the whole practice. Like Dre, go
over there and just come back when it's time for you to get on the court.
Oh, that is hilarious.
It was terrible. It was worse than cow manure. If y'all ever smell cow manure, if y'all haven't, I already know y'all live in like in a city area. Go drive through the countryside and just have your window down. It was worse than that. And imagine
I don't wish that on anybody. I don't wish that on anybody. What if I would have had to put that on my brows?
Imagine sitting next to me.
No, I don't.
And then being fearful, not saying nothing. Oh
Like, why this man
man,
smell like
yeah, bro. Like you know how you smell yourself and it's like it's probably not that bad. Person next to me is dying.
dying. You know how bad your hair has to smell for your teacher to write a letter saying that you don't have to come to class until you get this fixed. She wrote a letter and said, give this to your coach because you are excused, and your advisor. You're excused for the rest of the week.
I did not get graded nothing.
That's how bad it was.
That's how bad it was.
It was
she
so
literally did not want me in the classroom. I was my only teacher because everybody else, I told them what was happening. And he was like, yeah, no, we saw what you did to the jersey. And I was like...
That's another thing. He bled. I remember
on
walking
TV.
into the gym, Dre. I'll never forget it. We're walking into the gym and y'all are running out. And you just, Dre just sweats to sweat, right?
The thing is, nobody told me, though.
Wait, but listen, they hadn't even started the warm up yet. Dre is leaking.
That's the thing. Nobody told me because this could have been fixed before I put the jersey on. Somebody told me I was bleeding. But no,
Dre, there was nothing you could do. Oh, wait, listen, y'all. So he's running out onto the court. He already starting to bleed. And I look at one of my teammates. I said, oh my gosh. I said, y'all, look. And they were like everybody mouth started dropping, like just looking at your jersey. And then eventually, I guess your teammates told you he's going through, like, y'all know the Gatorade towels that that the players be having. This man is bleeding through every towel on the bench. He not at this point. You weren't even warming up. I think you just stopped and he was on the side and he just had the towel around his neck. And I think you had to put your warm up jacket back on. Yeah. You could. They said, "Buddy can't even warm up." These were like y'all. They literally got these jerseys for this game. This was a huge game. These were some nice throwback jerseys.
Literally, because that's what I'm saying. They could have told me before. Jerseys are in the locker room. Jerseys are in the locker room. We didn't have our pregame. I mean, we had our practice. We had our pregame. Now it's the game. I'm just wearing a warm up. We don't have the jerseys on. To then go get the jerseys.
That man went and got that jersey.
Bro, it was to the point that one of the coaches was like, yeah, I thought that was the jersey. That's how, because our school was red, white, and blue. They thought the shoulder was red. That's how bad it was.
They thought that was part of the uniform. It was just red shoulders. Red shoulders.
Over my shoulder, because like you see that type of blood, you think I'm bleeding. Like, oh, they playing physical. No.
Y'all ain't playing some real defense. No. Y'all was playing real defense.
I haven't even been in the game.
Oh, Dre. Oh. Listen, so with that being said, though, going back to the topic, as we sit here and laugh, like we said, if we knew then what we know now, we kind of told y'all like some of the things that we would have done differently. But I think something that we did well was we had fun. I would recommend to someone, like, knowing what I know now, is enjoy those moments. Like, don't be in a rush for it to end, because those 4 years, I say you do, complete your degree in 4 years. Sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it's shorter, but those 4 years go by so fast. And I just remember being at a point like, man, I can't wait to graduate so I can start making some money and go to, corporate America and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, those years you will never get back. You have the rest of your life to make money, start a business, travel, but you don't have the rest of your life to, spend your early adulthood with other people who trying to figure it out. And like, at that midway point where you can still kind of be childish, but, kind of stepping into, your adulthood. So.
Agreed. I would say going to college just for the experience, just for the maturity of actually like being involved and getting involved with a lot of people and finding yourself. One thing I really feel like is important is AIA, which is Athletes in Action. And it's just...
or crew ministry is also what it's called. Crew, like CRU, but I don't remember what it stands for.
Okay. Well, AIA or CRU is just a way for you to go ahead and like have that religion aspect while you're in school and everything like that.
Piggybacking off of like what he said, Athletes in Action or AIA, it's just like an athletic ministry, I guess you can say, that's on campus. So it's just a bunch of different athletes from different sports. You come together, and the way that it was ran on our campus was there was a couple who like spearheaded it, and every week you would meet, but it allowed you to meet people from other sports. You can go to these types of meetings, and then you can meet other people who believe what you believe and help you grow in your faith as well while you're on campus. Because like you said, you can't always make it to church. I would agree with that. Knowing what I know now, I think that was really helpful. And that's even something where we said like developing relationships and staying in contact with those people.
Yep.
Like I still keep in contact with the husband and wife who spearheaded the Athletes in Action on our campus. Like we're still in connection and stuff like that. So
our closing remarks will continuously just build on the relationship that you have, and be more vulnerable with the people that you're around, because if they're for you, they're for you. And if you talking to them and speaking on uncomfortable situations make them uncomfortable to the point that they wanted to leave your life.
Oh my goodness, Dre. Are we really doing this?
Swallow that pill, understand what it is, and take the lesson and grow from it.
Oh, this man playing victim.
But that is
we getting into it this next episode, y'all, because he's not about to do me like that.
That's my closing remarks.
Nope, that's your closing remarks. Well, I will just say my closing remarks is, so now I'm kidding, y'all. But yeah, I agree with him. Basically, what we're talking about is just how important relationships are. Pretty much everything that we've talked about surrounds around relationships, going out and meeting new people and having fun with the people that you're with, and going out and, meeting people in fellowship and in ministry. So just understand and value relationships when you go to college. Try to steward. This is the part that I didn't say, and this is going to be my last, my final parting words is, if you go away to college, whether you stay in state or you go out of state like we did, please be mindful and conscious that some of the relationships that you had in high school, they're not going to carry over into college or into adulthood in general. And so, but also some relationships will. So be mindful of that and try to still steward well over like your high school friendships, because sometimes you can go to college and you just only talk to now your college friends and you kind of forget about the people who you were close with in high school. So like when you come home for breaks and stuff, be more intentional about spending time with those people and making them feel like a priority in your life, because you're going to want to fall back on them and you're going to just want to keep them in your life. So that's my parting wisdom on this episode.
Go ahead, like, comment, subscribe for our viewers.
Amen.
Until next time.
Amen. We love y'all. Bye.